Hey guys, Jess here with the YTP Mini. I am loving these 15-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute conversations. It's so funny because the YTP Mini was never a plan and it just kind of showed up in our life and now we're doing it. And sometimes it's just going to be me, maybe some musings or some aha moments from my journey or Beej or the two of us together, or like today, we're going to have a freaking amazing guest. So I am bringing in my soul sister, Golden Duffy. She's like a 3-time yogi triathlete, podcast guest, and now we've got her on the Mini. And what I love about these minis is we just kind of dive into a subject matter. And today, I cannot shake this this calling to get her take on depression, because it's something that we see in our community with some of the athletes on our team over the years, people that I work with on mental coaching, and also just through social media and just, you know, people really being honest and authentic about it, which I love. So it's out there. We have an open forum on it, and I wanted to bring in your perspective. So first, my love, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I think this is one of the most important conversations we can have at this day and age, and what's happening in our society, and you know what we're dealing with in our teens, what we're dealing with, people in Hollywood. It's like it's running rampant, and people don't know why, and we're trying to figure it out. And I think now it's like it's finally getting the attention that it deserves. I listened to a podcast with Roseanne Barr the other day that really kind of lit me on fire about this. And she was saying she suffers from, many different ailments that she's been labeled as bipolar. She had a traumatic brain injury as a child. And part of what happened to her, she really thinks was part of that. She was taking Ambien because she couldn't sleep. So I think what's happening is, doctors are looking at our people, they're labeling people, and then they're medicating people to the point where it keeps people kind of at a sub status quo. Like we're just kind of dealing with it, but not really dealing with it,
Yeah, or and glossing over like the profound importance of embracing it as really a huge opportunity for freedom in our life. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think depression is a call. It's a call for us to go within. And I think that we're all experiencing certain levels of it. And I think when it gets to the point where it feels beyond your control, it's because your mind has taken over so much. You've spent so much time denying your emotions that your body, your mind, your spirit, everything is shutting down. So it's about going within, it's working within the scope of, what we do in the M21 Revolution, which is helping people to gain control of that mind that's telling them that they're bipolar, that's telling them that they're depressed, that's telling them that life is no good. And it's gaining control over the neural pathways that have created this belief that I am a depressed person. I watched a special with Gary Goldman on HBO. He's fantastic. He's a comedian. He's great. And he did shed a lot of important information on depression. But again, Gary only saw the way out as medication. Now, I'm not saying medication is bad. Absolutely not. I think a lot of people, that's their path to relief. And I think that's great. But I think there's other ways. And I think there's ways of dealing with depression that say, okay, we are spiritual beings. Are we paying attention to that? We've got to find a way to connect our inner spirit with our minds to the point where we get that growth, that evolvement and that growth. And the other piece of it is, I think a lot of times we're in so much resistance to what's happening in our life experience. That's what causes the disconnect between our spirit and our minds, as we're just shutting down what we really want. We have no belief, no faith in our desires coming to fruition. And so it takes all that will to live away from us. I've dealt with depression a lot with my 16, she just turned 16 years old this year. And it's been heart-wrenching, like as a mother, to walk this path with her and to detach from what she's feeling and to help her to realize that her feelings are valid and important, and that when she starts dealing with what she's feeling, that she can move through it. And so we're not at the, we haven't figured it all out, but we are definitely way better than we were. But I'm not in resistance to it. It's like, yeah, you're depressed. It's okay. Lay around, watch Netflix, let your hair get dirty. Like just be with it. And when we be with it, that's when we transform it, other than just trying to fight it and mask it and distract ourselves from it and, all the other things that come with that.
I love how you just said that. If you just be with it, like being with it is the way out of it. 100%. And I watched that same special, and I laughed so hard at the beginning when he said, when I was growing up, like the answer to everything was like, what do you have to be unhappy about? And that was, my dad used to say to me all the time, nobody ever said it'd be easy living in America. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. All I know is that I feel really sad right now. I don't know what it means. What do you mean? Nobody said it'd be easy living in America. I don't get that. And but that was really how it was, and I think that our generation learned, and perhaps passed down to our children subconsciously, that we just need to endure. And when we're talking about endurance athletes, like, wow, aren't we good at enduring? What I have found from practicing a zoomed out perspective on my own life, and that zoomed out perspective on life itself, you can only endure for so long, because if we keep stuffing the vault, I've seen this with my own life and I've seen it with my husband. If we keep stuffing the vault is eventually going to blow.
Oh, totally. And that's why we have so many health issues, I think. I think people's health is really taking a toll from their emotional well-being, and the fact that people are not living their greatest desires or their passions or waking up every day. I mean, if you're living your life just to pay your bills, I mean, how much excitement is in that? How much drive is in that? How much passion is in that? And we are meant to be passionate beings. Like, we are meant to be creators. We are meant to live life from this perspective of all that is, like all the stuff that we have access to as far as, universal law goes, and just putting yourself in a place of, this is what I really want, and I desire this, and it's coming, and I'm excited about it, and I know it's coming. Then when you don't have that faith and you don't have that belief in yourself or in your society, and you've kind of let the news or the social programming or all the crap that's going on in our world affect you, then you're really not creating any sort of value for anyone, yourself included.
What would be something that somebody could do to start understanding that there are laws of the universe that far surpass the laws of this physical existence, that are really what we're creating from every moment of our life?
Absolutely. So I just went through a pretty good depression, a little spout of depression. Yeah, it's 111. How cool is that? And going through this deep dive, I like to call them a deep dive because it makes me feel like there's great purpose in it. If you're feeling purposeless and like you're in a depression and nobody cares and all of that, there's no value. If you can take value from it, then you can work through it faster. So I think of it always as my deep dive, and I spend a lot of time in meditation. Like, I will spend up to an hour a day, and I don't suggest that for a new person. I only suggest like 10 to 15 minutes for a new person, to quiet your mind, to listen to beautiful music, to just turn off the volume of that, what I love to call, can I swear on here? Yeah. The shitty committee, like that shitty committee that's just telling you how awful life is, So I like to do that. I also like to just notice what is good and just be very present with what's going on. So if I'm feeling really yucky and I want to watch yucky TV, because that's usually what I go to, is just like some crappy TV, just like something to amuse me, to make me forget about things. I'll spend time just being very present. If I'm like cooking dinner, I'm just like really present with what I'm doing, and I don't allow my mind to go, you're so depressed, you're so this, you're so that. I bypass those loops, and the only way to do this that I found is to train your mind. You got to train your mind, and I know you guys teach that in your coaching business. You have to train your mind, and if you're all athletes, obviously you know how to train your mind. is bypassing those loops and going, I'm okay right now. I'm okay right now. I'm okay. I'm getting better. I'm reaching. The other thing is to be in a little bit of action. Through my whole depression thing, I always exercised. I would not let because I don't let the committee tell me if I'm going to exercise or not. I don't let any of that. I just do it. Like it's not a conversation. That happened to me a few years ago where I stepped into the identity of being a fit and healthy person. Exercise is non-negotiable, just like my meditation. We don't talk about if we're going to meditate or not today because your mind will always talk you out of it. You just go and you sit in meditation because that's what's going to lead you out of this. So I think about the things that are going to help me, and exercise is always one. Meditation always, without a doubt, will help me through this. And then I dive in and I get a little curious, like what's going on? Why do I feel so bad? Why am I feeling so dark? Sometimes we're just clearing energy of old stories, of old social programming. Sometimes we're clearing stuff for the world. Like we've just got to release these heavy energies. If crystals make you feel good, if oil makes you feel good, just do whatever makes you feel good, because those outside sources are not doing it. It's just your belief that they're doing it. So I would just think like, okay, what could I do today that would just make me feel a little bit better? I don't need to leap into like ecstatic joy because I'm not there right now. I just need to take a couple of steps towards feeling a little bit better.
That's amazing. That is so beautiful. How can people get more of you? What's going on? You've got some exciting things going on. What's happening?
Well, Quantum Speak always is a wonderful way to start if you want to get some belief in universal law. That's available on Amazon. That's my book. And I just started a podcast on Facebook and YouTube called The Real Ones, ONEZ, with my wonderful, beautiful, angelic friend, Lisa Jones. We're going to have real conversations. I'm sure Jess will be a part of this. Like, we're going to have real spiritual conversations about what's really happening. Like, Lisa and I often will talk about Thelma and Louise in it. Like, I'm ready to drive off the cliff. You want to do this with me? Like, we will have days and moments like that. And thank God we haven't had them together because we both talk each other out of it. But like, to be real, to not be ashamed of those thoughts and those ideas that pop into your head, because life sometimes is really hard. Like, life sometimes is really challenging. But when you step into a place where you start to awaken to life and to the reality of your spiritual beingness, you step into a place of, even in the challenges, even in the contrast, this is beautiful because I know it's leading me to more. I know it's leading me to more good things. I know it's making my desires stronger so I can manifest bigger. So when you come to that place, that's when depression really, I think the biggest thing I want people to know is you are not powerless. There is nothing powerless about you other than your belief system that you are powerless over depression. It does not have to have power over you. And when you start to go within and activate your power within, you're going to start to stand in that power, and depression is just going to become one of those things like, sometimes I feel this way and it's okay.
Let's wrap it up right here. You guys, thanks for listening. If you have questions, post them in the, in the comments. You can reach out to Golden. She's really active on Facebook. You can join us at M21. You can check out The Real Ones, read Quantum Speak. Like, I don't know. It's almost like there's no excuse,
so much.
Right? Just be with it, you guys.
It's all here for you.
You know, the way out is the way through.
Amen.